I'm gonna send out a greetings to all the Jaws obsession community. I hear upcoming episode 30 is coming up about Jaws, and I hear there's to prove a theory in this upcoming episode about that Alex Kitner in Jaws, the little Kitner boy on the raft and the parade. I hear that there's a theory that he was in that parade. Well, we'll talk about that a little because I know a little bit about this. This is the dead Alex Kitner, Jeff Voorhees, here on Martha's Vineyard, Amity Island. I'm standing on the beach where I was eating. This is 48 years ago. That's how long I've been dead. The little mystery about that parade. Alex Kitner was in that parade, I believe. That's me. I had just moved to Martha's Vineyard that year, and Eggertown Boys and Girls Club, the drum and bugle, I joined that thing. I played the drums in that, and the parade scene happened before I got eaten, and Spielberg says, no, you can't be in that scene because you die in the movie. When I was a little 12-year-old kid, Spielberg, he was like, no, you can't be in it, and then finally after begging him for a week before that whole scene happened, he said, well, you're not dead yet, so you could be in that scene. So when you're watching the movie, I still live in that town where the parade goes up the wrong way. That's a one-way street. That's Eggertown on Amity Island, Martha's Vineyard. We have a bar right down there. And that parade coming up, when you're looking at it, the little kid with long hair banging on the drums, that's me, the dead Alex Kitner. That's back in the days when I had some hair. But the scene, you can see it. Anyone that watches, it's like, oh wait, there it is. There's Alex Kitner banging on the drums. I wasn't dead yet, so Spielberg finally let me be in it. So, this should help out episode 30 coming up, and to prove that in that parade, the dead Alex Kitner was banging on the drums. Anyway, I hear the listeners here, the Jaws obsession community, you guys like that movie Jaws. I was just doing a signing with Richard Dreyfuss and Susan last year. I was supposed to be with them in England too, but they bailed out because of COVID. I see them a couple times. Susan, the one that swims naked that dies before me. Anytime I do a signing with her, she writes first victim, so I have to write second victim every time I do one with her. But down there, that area there, that's Oak Bluffs. That's where it all gets going. That's where Pippet, the Black Lab, and Susan go. And then down in that area, it's a little cloudy and foggy on Amity Island today. That's Eggertown. That's where they had the shark hanging it up. And they said, don't cut it open. The Kitner boy will spill out all over the dock. They drove that thing all the way up from Florida. And that stunk so bad. This is a small island. You could smell it in the school that we were going to in the daytime. And people would get so mad because the town smelled like rotted fish. So the fishermen here on the island, they would go up to the house Spielberg rented and dump all the fish carcasses, codfish bones, after they filleted all of them, and dump all up in his yard, payback for the stinky shark that they had hanging up in town for weeks. But besides that, it was fun. So that scene, my scene happened right here. This is Eggertown Oak Bluffs Bridge down here. We'll walk down there. That's where the shark swims through after I got chowed out. But right up on the beach here, up in the dunes, you had all those nice little beach houses. They looked real, but if you went on the other side of them, it was like plywood with 2x4s holding it up. And this is where they filmed that in May, and people were like, were you afraid of the shark? No, I was afraid of freezing my 12-year-old butt off in that water. That was cold. We don't want to swim here until July. And they had to be done before Memorial Day weekend. So, if you look in the movie when you're watching it, look at the trees. It's supposed to be July, this movie, and half the trees don't even have leaves yet. These leaves don't come out till, June. But right up here on the beach, this is where Brody was sitting with his kids. The older one, I was in the same class. We were friends. This was Mello. The little kid, Jay Mello, the Muffin Man. I saw him a couple of months ago. He doesn't live on the island, but he was down. But this is where I go up to Leaf Arrow, my mother in the movie. Ask her if I go back. Fortunately, she let me go back in. Hop on the raft, start swimming out right here, and you start hearing dun-dun, dun-dun. And when you hear that, that's not good news. That's you're screwed. You're eating. But the first time we tried it, Spielberg was like, beg to go in the water, then swim out there a little ways. And when you get out there, we'll say cut. And so after I get on the raft, about maybe 20 yards out, there was this big barrel that was full of blood. And he goes, when you get near that barrel, you couldn't see it from the shore. It's like right at the top of the level of the water. He goes, when you get near that barrel, we'll say cut. And then they put half a raft over this barrel full of blood. And he's like, now you're going to lie on top of it. And when it explodes, go in the water and stay under there as long as you can. So you're a 12-year-old kid freezing your butt off, lying on something that's going to explode. And the first time we try it, bam, blood's flying up everywhere. And go underwater, swim ashore finally. Go up to him, we all set, freezing cold. He's like, no, your arm came out of the water. We got to do it again. And it would take 7 or 8 hours for all that blood to clear out. So the next time we try it, no, your leg came out of the water. And then 5 days later, he finally goes, we got 2 guys in wetsuits. They're going to lift you in and out of the water a few times, then pull you under and give you air. That's why you see me doing that. Here, that's the Jaws bridge. The shark swims through that after I get eaten. But filming was fun. It was cold, and it's a small island, so we knew where they stored Bruce, the shark. So like at nighttime, we would go down there. You know, they didn't have alarms and cameras back in those days, so we used to go down there and just open the window and climb all over the shark and wiggle on the teeth, have fun with that. I was doing a signing down at a shark tournament in Tampa a couple years ago, and the person that made the shark, he was at that. And one of the Q&As, they were asking him about how the shark broke down a lot, and he was like, yes, the shark broke down, and it would break down for days on end. And when I got the microphone, I was, okay, here we go. I was like, I was only 12 years old, but I got to tell the truth. The reason that shark might have broke down a lot was we used to climb all over it at nighttime, and maybe that's why it didn't work. And he looked like he wanted to do it, but it was fun. Right near the Jaws bridge, the shark swims through there. But overall, it was fun making it. They would have cookouts, baseball games. Richard Dreyfuss, those guys would be at it. And then look far away, you see Robert Shaw. And you run up to him, hey, how's it going? You can smell booze, afternoon time on him. And he did not want anything to do with kids. And as soon as you get near him, get away from me, you little whatever. And so we knew it pissed him off to be near him. And it's a small island. So every time you saw him in town or something, you had to run up just to piss him off. You want to be a pain? We can too. We were just little kids having fun. But anyway, this is to the Jaws obsession community. And hopefully this little information about the dead Alex Kitner being in that little parade before I was eaten. I was able to get in that because I was not chowed down yet. So that should solve this little mystery coming up for episode 30. And hopefully that gives you a jawsome 30th episode coming up from the dead Alex Kitner. Jeff Voorhees here on Martha's Vineyard, Amity Island.